Good afternoon, everyone. It is I, Shad Talks Graps, and we are back for our daily installment of the Wrestling Republic Daily broadcast. It's Tuesday, and we are here to review Monday Night Raw. This is USA Week. I'm appearing to here. We got USA programming with WWE all around. And yeah, yesterday was a very eventful, crazy show. The first hour was commercial free. So we'll talk about all of that. I got a great prestige panel today. It's a little different than the normal group of friends, but it's still good because we got someone who's highly opinionated, and we're just gonna kick it off to him because Chaos for some reason decided to take the day off. He decided to get his tag team partner in the house, Mr. Soul from the Soul Sessions. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Hi, hey. Sorry, I'm just eating these pretzels to anticipate the saltiness that's going to be coming from this show today. But you know, it's pretty good. I'm getting prepared for it. But yeah, Raw happened. 3 hours. There was actually some good on it. So let's talk about it when we get to it.
Yeah, just some good, huh? Interesting. I'm definitely excited to hear what you got to say. Also, we also learned that Raw might be 2 hours. Or it will be 2 hours come October. And if you didn't know that, one of the best news anchors out there told y'all that. You know, one of my best friends in the world. I'm even wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt just because he's one of my best friends. Jordy, I turned another leaf. How are you, man?
My brother, I'm great. That has put a smile on my face. Yeah, I do. I do the news every now and again now. I don't need this mic. I don't know why I've got it on. I'm talking into this mic. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, go and watch Wrestling Republic News because that's where you can hear some news. And there you go. That is a great advert. Ben, click that up.
Go on, Shad. Shad, do the Jacob Fatu. Say you love Jordy. I love you, Jordy.
I love my tribal chief Solo Sikoa. That's SmackDown. That's SmackDown. We're talking about Monday Night Raw. And let's start off the show with what started off the show on our, hour of no commercial breaks. It was a street fight. The Wyatts versus American Made. I apologize. I'm the only American on the panel today. And man, this was a very, very fun match in my opinion. A lot of great spots going on. The double choke slam to Eric Rowan on the table. Nikki Cross hitting the German suplex. Ivy Nile hitting the extinguisher on everyone. It was a lot of chaos, a lot of athleticism, a lot of just full on craziness. It ends with a beautiful Sister Abigail hit by Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy on Chad Gable. Chad Gable really knows how to sell. He could be a used car salesman and sell the whole lot of a bunch of hoopties because he could sell that well. And great match. I don't know if this is the end of this feud. I'm assuming it is because the Wyatts have kind of just ran them across every match. I, don't necessarily love it because I do think American Made is a great team, but I do understand putting them in position against the Wyatts. I gotta ask y'all. I'm gonna run the table for you first, Jordy. What are your thoughts on the match and what's next for both factions?
I really enjoyed the match. It was a great way to kick off obviously it was commercial free for the first hour. It was a season premiere. I never have a clue what that means because it never stops, but it was, and we got an hour commercial free, and we kicked off with a great match. That it was one of them where like I looked down at my phone like at about 25 minutes into the match, about 20, it was like 25 past 1 a.m. over here. And I was like, damn, this has been going for a while and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. Like you said, it was chaotic. I think it was the most we've seen of Nikki Cross, which is great. I really didn't have any complaints in terms of what's next. Now that does intrigue me because I really do want this thing to be done now. I think both factions need to move on. I think the Wyatts need to target other people, and I think American Made, I like them as a faction, but I don't want the Wyatts to be taking any L's because I want them to look dominant. So, like, I don't like that these two are locked together. I want them to be separated from this feud. So I really do hope that was the kind of culmination of the whole feud because it was a great finale of it. And we look to move on now. Who's going to be the next target? Like you said earlier, Shad, when we were talking, could it be Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio? Could they go for all of them? Could they go for the Judgment Day because of this whole you're breaking up families thing that they're running with Chad Gable? It would make sense. I would personally like to see it. I'd like to see Rhea win. Obviously, don't mute me. I'd like to see Rhea win, so she gets the title back, and then I don't want Liv Morgan to then be kind of in limbo because I think she's been doing such good work, and I think her and Nikki Cross could really put in a solid feud together, as well as the rest of the Judgment Day and the Wyatt Six. So that's where I hope it goes, but who knows, man? I'm just a guy from England guessing.
Yeah, damn, Jordy, I didn't know you were a heretic. That's some heresy you're speaking there, brother.
No, and I think the possibility of this New Age Judgment Day versus the Wyatts makes a lot of sense. Just off of the numbers game. Let's not forget Finn and JD are the tag team champs. You can possibly have them feud against Gacy, Rowan, Gacy, Loomis, whatever variation of those three for the tag team titles you can put in there. But I was telling y'all before the show, Nikki Cross yesterday just shined like an absolute star to me. I think she just looks amazing within like presentation coming down there, facial expressions, and y'all, like, not y'all, but a lot of the fans online just forget how good Nikki Cross is as a professional wrestler. The woman is a great pro wrestler, and she's been given some of the most absurd gimmicks out there, from just standing in dead silence backstage to being a superhero, and she's played it to a T. Now you got her something that is a little bit more that you could sink your teeth in, kind of similar to what she was doing on NXT with Sanity a little bit, right? Like, I think it's more of what she wants to do, but like that character could be really great, and like it's not as gimmicky or childish as like the Alexa Bliss gimmick was, in my opinion. I think there's more, of a darker side to it, but it's a little bit more like something that I think fans would kind of get into. I don't know if y'all agree or disagree on that, but that may be a hot take to people because I know there's a lot of Alexa Bliss fans out there. I'm wearing Mickey Mouse. I come in peace. But let's, but now let's get a couple comments, and then I definitely want to hear what you got to say about this too. So we got on Twitch DC X Warlord saying that match was epic. They also have a major crush on you, Jordy. They're saying they love you. This is a
I'm the
question
face. I told you I'm not the heel.
this is a question I can ask y'all. He's asking, or she's asking, who do you think the next member of American Made should be? Do y'all think there should be another member of American Made?
Nah. Don't think they need it. If so, Kurt Angle.
I don't think so either.
I'm joking.
I don't
Jack
think
Swagger.
so either. You have a tag team already. You got this. That's funny, Jack Swagger. He is a free agent. You have Gable, who's the star, the leader. Maybe another girl to team with Ivy Nile, but I kind of want to see Ivy Nile position as she's so much of a the pitbull, she's done so much weird like impromptu tag teams within her career. I don't know. I don't want to add nobody on there. And then the next Damage Control is going to be the next target. Now I don't want to see a bunch of dudes beating up on a bunch of Joshis, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's gonna look good for the sponsors. Yep, we've got this commercial hour free. Oh, come on, guys! No, come on.
That's probably not going to happen. I appreciate the love for me, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I got EO watching all of them anyways. But so I'm gonna open the floor for you. What are your thoughts, everything in regards to the last night's match, and what do you think is the next direction for these teams?
So I always remember going back to the Bray Wyatt documentary, and the main thing Triple H said in that was obviously when the Burnt Fiend debuted that it's a great idea. It's maybe great for marketing, great for connection, and great for merch as well. But it has to translate into the ring. And that quote's always stuck with me. Truly, from out of that whole documentary, is the one quote that sticks with me. And it's one thing I worried with the Wyatt Six is that it will be a great idea. The costumes look great. The wrestlers behind them look great as well. But will it translate to the ring? And I will happily put my hands up and say these individuals brought it tonight, and they brought it to the squared circle. They made their idea work. I loved the match. I thought the match was amazing. I even liked American Made. They are kind of, I wouldn't say they're too goofy, like kind of goofy Kurt Angle American gimmick back in the day, but they are have that serious side to them, which I do appreciate. One thing, obviously, I do want to bring up as well is that I feel like with the Wyatt Six, it's rectifying the wrongs of the Fiend. Now, people are going to be like, well, you think the Fiend's a bad character? And I'm like, no. What I mean is spooky, supernatural, and gothic era stuff I do like. But I think it's very hard to do that in modern age wrestling where people like to focus on the technical and great matches and high spots. The Fiend was great, and it got over with a lot of people. Even our own David Sheldon truly loves the Fiend. But I think when you have to relieve that the disbelief, and it's like, well, he's teleporting, or well, he's multi-personalities and stuff like that. But then you know how to translate into the ring. It's a bit of a hard bridge to cross. And obviously with this team, you could have Uncle Howdy as the full supernatural character, the whole ringleader, the cult leader, the fractured mind bringing everybody together. But then you have the people who can do stuff in the ring, like Rowan doing stuff in the ring, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy and Nikki. You have the wrestling side focused around the supernatural main leader character, which I think is something that the Fiend could have done with back in the day. But they are absolutely killing it right now. What I'd like to see for the future of these guys and Nikki as well. Tag titles, definitely put them on Lumis and Rowan. Gacy maybe be like a Freebird rule sort of thing for them. Because I feel like the tag titles are just dead on the Judgment Day because they are a trash faction and trash individuals in it. So why not put it on a faction and a group that's really hot merch-wise and connectivity with the crowd, because the Wyatt Sixes are truly loved. Even if they aren't defended as much and they don't get on pay-per-views, they're at least on a popular faction that is really having good merch, not just absolute trash merch, but has already a connection to an established audience with the Wyatt name. So that's why we do. Nikki, I absolutely think could go for a women's title, even if we introduce a women's mid-card title or the women's speed title is coming in soon, to get her reintroduced, obviously, because this is a very new character direction for Nikki. Obviously for Howdy, I think Howdy and Gable should happen at Bad Blood. I just think that would be a great match to have there, and also to give Uncle Howdy a proper PLE singles match. And this obviously was started with these two, so why not end it with these two at Bad Blood? I just think that's the way to go.
You had me until you said that Judgment Day was trash. Because
They are though.
highly disagree with that. But that's
Who killed tag team wrestling? The Judgment Day.
They did not kill tag team wrestling. All right,
they killed those titles.
Anyways, as long as we are not talking about the most perfect individual out there, the next 2,000 day champion, Miss Liv Morgan, I think we're all right.
No, she's good. I'll give her that. She's good. Dom's good. Everyone else sucks.
Ooh, man, I thought y'all loved Finn Balor. But
I love Finn. Finn's a wonderful
I think Finn's great. I think we're going to see the best of him. I think we're going to see the best of him now.
Here's my hot take, right? Finn Balor will never be a world champion. He'll never be a main eventer. He had his moment with the Universal. Sadly, it got ruined with injury. The Fiend's a dead gimmick. It's lost every match. It has no potential. Only thing the demon Finn Balor is to sell merch and have pretty action figures come out. Besides that, nothing.
Nah, him and Damien are going to put on a banger at Bad Blood.
Oh, it'll probably be a good match, but we know Finn's losing.
So here's the thing, right? I don't necessarily disagree on the standpoint where I don't know when Finn or if he is in position to be world champ. And this is well documented on our show every Tuesday. Jordy can attest to it. I think people get over analytical on saying Finn Balor is being misused. He is not
No,
being used to his potential. The guy's being positioned in main event storylines. Has been champion. He's been used pretty darn good. So, but
he's in the role that he fits. But people
Yeah,
thinking he's going to break out of that role and be in the main event picture, having a WWE Championship or World Heavyweight Championship around his shoulder, around his waist, or whatever. That's never going to happen. It's just a sad thing. Finn Balor in WWE.
I wouldn't say. I do see what you're saying. I wouldn't say never, but it depends on the way things go. I can certainly see why right now that main title picture it's the same reason why I thought Damien was gonna fail a cash in. I was just like, I don't know if there's room for him in this main title picture anymore with Punk coming back, Randy Orton coming back, and all these people just started popping up. It was like, where does he fit in? I don't know. You might be right, but I just feel like he might end up coming in handy. He might be one of them that it's like, oh, he's injured. Finn's there. And I think at that point, I always think Finn will do a good job of
Jordy,
whatever he's given. You know
is that a denial mustache you've got growing now? I mean, are you okay?
No,
do we need to face the fact here? Do we need to face the fact, bro?
It's been there for ages.
We got a couple comments from our good friend over here. He is a he, by the way. I apologize in regards to that. But they said the Y6 feud keeps on running, and I mean Dakota Kai from Damage Control, because every single time Dakota was doing a promo, the Pluto Law. Okay. That's true. I do recall that.
I remember
don't know
that.
if it's a coincidence or not. Dakota Kai and the Wyatts. I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd have to see. I'm not gonna say I dislike it, but I'm not gonna say I like it per se. And then we'll get one more comment from. I would have Tavion Heights be a part of American Made. He was there. It was an 8-man tag between the Y6 and American Made. Tavion Heights is incredible. He's such a talented guy. He was doing great stuff out in Noah. I say he still needs to develop on NXT and do what he needs to do on NXT. He's in a faction on NXT. I wouldn't just move people up for the sake of it, but I see what your vision is. But yeah, like I said, great first match. Let's get to the next match that we had on board. Well, not next match, but next segment on the as my thing is going. Okay. Bret Hart making his return to the WWE, but also coming home to Calgary. He can't. Big Pop, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Intruder alert. Gunther comes out and he lets him know that Gunther is the best there is, the best there ever will be. And they had a good little back and forth dialect. Gunther hit him with one of the biggest haymakers of the year. He said, "You're my number 2, only behind Bill Goldberg. Hit him low, hit him low, hit him low." I love it, Gunther. This is what superior heel work is all about. Sami Zayn comes out. Man, this was a good back and forth. Obviously, Sami, native Canadian, looking up to Bret Hart and whatnot, backing him up. And it seems like we're building to a Gunther versus Sami Zayn match for this title. Looks like Sami may be the next competitor. Rematch Mania. Let's not forget, Sami is the one that did end Gunther's streak. Jordy, I will ask you, what are your thoughts on yesterday's segment with Bret the Hitman Hart? And are you excited for Sami and Gunther, or are you feeling a little cold on it?
No, yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm not sure whether Sami will win. I hope he does. You know me. Everyone's gonna think I hate Gunther, and I don't, but I just don't want him to have a 200+ day title reign this time round. I want him to lose it quickly, and I want to see him spin off into a feud without it. He's gonna be around for a while, and he'll pretty much always have a belt on him. I said last week I don't want him to become the way that some people portray Charlotte Flair, for example. I don't want him to become the male version of that, but that's by the by. So I'd enjoy Sami winning. I just don't think it's probably not going to happen. I agree, though. I thought name dropping Bill Goldberg was fantastic. I love the fact that he said Bill Goldberg as well, because of obviously that the famous Bret Hart interview, and he said that he refuses to call him Goldberg and always calls him Bill Goldberg. So it was great. It really was. As soon as I saw Gunther come out, I just thought we're really going to see some great heel work here. And yeah, dropping that in Canada was pretty spectacular. I also liked the way that Sammy was not just defending when kind of Gunther turned around, the way that Sammy jumped out of the ring and just went to hit Gunther. I like it. I do like it. It makes me feel like Sammy's kind of got the upper hand at this point in a way, especially because he won at Mania, like you said. My only thing with this, and it's something that WWE fall into a trap of, and I don't know necessarily why they do it, right? Why did they announce Bret Hart? Why not just have that as a surprise pop? Like, could you imagine the Raw that would have happened when he walked out? Like, they announced it like a day or two before. Like, why bother at that point? Like, I get it. You want. I know you want to sell. I know you want to sell tickets. I get it. But like, they're doing well anyway without having to announce the legend returning. It probably would have been a sellout, if not a sellout, right? So you bring someone back, and it's a huge pop like that, and then your fans think, I'm going to buy a ticket to any random show because at any point something as big as that might happen. I just don't get why they don't do it anymore. I really don't understand it.
Jordy, money, mate. Money.
No,
there you go.
We can always make more money. We can make more
It's
money.
It's not only money too, though. You got to also think, what did they go against yesterday? The first Monday Night Football of the NFL season. That it's also for ratings. They need to get stuff that has to kind of draw ratings. This is a tough time for. Well, it's going to be different now, obviously, with Netflix, right? I don't know how they're going to equate the numerics and whatnot. Obviously, I think there'll be a playback, which will benefit them a lot, including myself, because I will probably watch it on Tuesday morning instead of Monday night. But I feel like there's a pinpoint where they do lose a lot of viewers during this time of the year. In the States, NFL rules everything. Football is its own culture over here. So it's gonna be one of those cases. It's gonna be a little difficult in the ratings wise. So I guess I can see it being a little bit of an injection of a ratings boost, but I don't disagree with you. I think in the moment of the arena, it probably would have been a crazy pop because nobody would have expected.
Even at home, bro. Even at home, if you're a huge wrestling fan and you're watching football and you've gone, right, this week I'm not watching Raw, I'm watching football, and your mate texts you, you said Bret Hart's on Raw, and you grab the remote and you're like, what? Wait, what? You know what I mean?
No,
so I just feel like
that.
it's like you can almost teach a lesson in a way. It's like, don't turn us off just because football's on.
I feel that. One other
yeah.
note also, and I definitely want to note this because I thought it was super big of a moment too. Salute to Sami Zayn, man, rocking the Johnny Goudreau jersey yesterday. The unfortunate passing of him and his brother last week, two phenomenal hockey players, a native guy from there with Team Y. So rocking the jersey, you know, I thought that was a big time thing. Big ups to Jackie Redmond too. The little memorial being outside there, her being an analyst for hockey as well for the NHL. I know it meant near dear to her heart. You could definitely feel.
You could tell it, you could tell it wasn't
emotion
easy. The passion was there, and it was like the perfect amount. And I felt it from home. Somebody who doesn't follow hockey, and I just it was it was great. So big up to her because that can't have been easy. And, fair play.
Likewise, I can't say I'm a big hockey fan, but I definitely can tell the importance of it and whatnot. So big ups to you for doing that well, man. It definitely was great. Let's get a couple comments in here. We got Newer One Superfly saying Gunther was such a savage to Bret Hart that it was hilarious. Do you think Bret Hart should have responded to Gunther back with the line, "That's a Goldberg fan for you"? I don't.
He did call him a coward and stuff, so it kind of would have been funny. I would have liked that.
I don't know if he was quick witted, man, but we'll see. And then DC saying he wants to see Gunther versus Obafemi. That would be Clash of the Titans. I don't think the world is ready for that just yet because I don't know who would be set to lose that. But before we get to our next topic, I gotta talk about something with y'all. And this is our great sponsors, man. Big ups to NX Connect, NX Next Level, Next Level. If you go to the link nxconnect.me/Wrestling Republic, you'll find a one-stop shop with everything all over our platforms in one place. They also have a super user-friendly app that you can download on, I don't know, the App Store, Google Store, whatever phone device you may have. And man, I gotta tell you, it's something that I use in regards to getting stuff out regarding Wrestling Republic to, friends, fans, peers, whatever it may be. You can find everything related to us on our streaming service on the Twitter, on the YouTube, Instagram, the website with all the incredible articles. And most importantly, these people have a whole community of other great wrestling content creators. So you can go ahead and support them as well. And they like to give away free stuff. They're always known for putting out some contests. They got people to Mania, giving out WWE cash, and also giving copies of WWE 2K. So do me a favor, go and support us by clicking on that link, as well as downloading the app, and stay in tune with them. Also stay in tune with us. All right, let's get to the next topic, because we had a title match last night, the rubber match between my favorite tag team in the entire world, Jade Cargill, and my favorite women's wrestler of all time, Bianca Belair, the EST, looking like a gazillion dollars out there with the match at Ring Gear, versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union. This is round 3 between these women, and they had a pretty solid bout. I think the chemistry between these 4 have been better. I think that we're starting to see Jade and Bianca mesh more as a tag team, and I think Unholy Union been pretty underrated as a team overall. Jade and Bianca do retain; they are still our champions, and we got a little bit of an interaction backstage between Damage Control and Jade and Bianca. I'm gonna pass it to you, so I want to know your thoughts on the match, and then just what do you think is next for Jade and Bianca?
Right. So I thought this was the best women's match of the night. I thought it was a very good performance by all 4 women. I thought it was really good. I don't have too many complaints. I still, in my own personal opinion, think Jade is very green. But I don't want to talk about Jade. I feel like we've talked about Jade a lot. But I want to talk about somebody else who I think is just as, if not more important, who has been not really in the best position since Mania. And I want to talk about Bianca Belair. Bianca is an exceptional women's wrestler. I think she is easily somebody that if you were to hire, you could build a full company around, because she is great. She has great ring style. She has a great look, has a great connection with fans. Also, media presence as well with the Bianca and Montez documentary that was on Hulu. I believe it was a reality show on Hulu. And it was also on Disney Plus here in the UK. If it gets another season, I think that'd be cool. But my God, what a fall from grace. And it's a shame, because before Mania, she'd obviously was in the had the Raw Women's Championship for I think the second longest time. Lost it to Asuka. Asuka got the World Women's World Championship. She had the freeway, won it, and then cashed in by Io. But she still did stuff after. She was in a War Games match at obviously at one of the United Center. Was it United Center or the Now Arena? It was in Chicago. I know that. And then after that, obviously Jay debuted and people were like, oh, this is the singles match we're going to get. But they built their time with it. They did obviously the free at Mania, and Jade has been stuck with Bianca since. And I personally feel that Bianca Belair is not the star that she once was because of this tag team. Now, obviously, people were like, well, this is going to be the clash. It's going to be her versus Jade. That's the big match we want to see. And a lot of people want to see that match. I have no doubt in my mind that some people might even just tune in, or heck, even buy a ticket or buy the merch that has their match graphic on it because of these 2 women. That's absolutely fair. And if you want to see that, I applaud you for wanting to see that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel, though, SmackDown's women's roster is very, very, very paper thin. Yes, of course, there's Nia Jax, women's champion, who's actually doing very good. You've got Tiffany Stratton in the wing. You have, obviously, Bayley there. You have other individuals as well. But I just feel like if Bianca was there, with how much she is good as a face and how much she has that connectivity, you could even build up Nia Jax with that. Imagine if Bianca Belair, goes on about like how in the Raw Women's Championship for the longest time, she got screwed over with Becky Lynch on the quick win. She got screwed over with Io Sky's cash in, and she wants to prove herself that she still is a champion. She still is the best, the EST of the WWE. And I have that chasing the gold thing again. I just feel Bianca Belair in the tag team division is such a waste for a woman who has so much potential to show and has shown it and really is truly a overall benefit to women's wrestling. And I just think it's a shame she's stuck in this tag team. I mean, I do have notes on Jade, but I don't want to mention that. I want to give this showcase to Bianca Belair, who I truly think is an exceptional women's wrestler.
And I agree with you 1,000% on that take. I think it is. It's one of those situations where I find it funny because I feel like a lot of the Charlotte Flair thing that Jordy mentioned before, right? She gets positioned all the time whenever she's back into the main title picture, whether she wins it, whether she loses it. That's the same. She's in it. Becky Lynch, same exact thing. Whenever she's in there, she's fighting for the main titles. Now, when it's Bianca, it always seems like people are like, Super Cena. When in totality, number-wise, how long she's been here, it's not been that much compared to other women. And I agree with you. Not only a focal point to the women's division, of course, that's the case, but just in general, this is a woman that was main eventing a WrestleMania years ago. And this is someone who, like you said, outside of the ring, she is just doing some of the best work out of any professional wrestler, man. She's, out there in the community, out there, with the at the hospitals with the kids and stuff like that, man. Like she's just doing so much, and she's such a superstar on all cylinders. And like you said, she's a great in-ring wrestler. Her versus Sasha Banks is one of the best.
You go, Saul. You go.
Main thing is that I've seen some people say this, and this is not what I want. I don't want Jade Cargill just to be Bianca Belair 2.0. That's not something I absolutely do. I want people to have their own identity and their own creations. I'll say this one little thing on Jade Cargill. Obviously, I think the main reason why the internet is so critical and has such a negativity towards Jade Cargill is she was obviously AEW homegrown talent. And ESPN made the big deal, and obviously, about her signing there. And when you make that big deal about it, people will have big expectations. But obviously, we see other great women coming into the WWE. Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, they're all in the same age bracket as Jade. And in my personal opinion, if I was a businessman, if I was giving Jade the contract that is worth Julia's and Stephanie Vaquer's combined, but I know Julia and Stephanie are more accomplished in the ring, they are more transversal to the product, it's going to be a bit worrying when my big prospect that is worth two women's wrestlers who can do stuff in the ring is still struggling and still not getting better in the ring. You would have to kind of reassess your budget. Now, I've spoken to some wrestlers about this over the weekend. I was chilling with some wrestlers, and they stated that they think Jade is really just not really that good. They're still very green and should have gone to NXT. I absolutely believe NXT would have been the best move for her because of Shad, obviously, you on Tuesday Night's Delights and NXT Off the Air praised the women's division, and they get a lot of good showcases. I think of Thea Hale and Trace Yu. I think she's amazing. And do I think somebody like that, if they were shot to the main roster, would have got that opportunity? No, because they have it. And also, there's the mid-card championship for the women's. There's 2 belts for them to chase. Mid-card to test, see who you think's ready, who can get that development time, and it's also more TV time as well. I don't think with the tag belts you get that much of an ability to grow because you're always relying on your tag partner as well. When you're somebody like Jade Cargill, who had a single wrestler, is what people I think want her to be, and I think what the company wants her to be, you need to train as a singles wrestler. Yes, of course, there's Performance Center, and you can do that aspect, but you need to have matches on TV that translate that as well.
For sure, and obviously, I want to get to the last topic because we got like 10 minutes and whatnot. But the thing is this: I don't necessarily. I understand why they put her on the main roster because she is that big of a star. She was a big star in AEW, and then my issue isn't necessarily. I don't think it's a wrestling being green thing. I think it's booking, and like you said, I think the booking is not. Your investment hasn't maybe looked up to par in a sense off the booking. When you talk about money and stuff. Bro, it's $1 billion company. I don't care how much money they get. So make the most money you want as a wrestler.
Oh, I
ain't counting checks on no
for the wrestlers.
When I heard Mercedes Moné was the richest women's wrestler, I was so happy about it.
Like what I'll say is for that. Obviously, I think it's right for the women. If they get that paycheck for them, happy for that. If that's what the company thinks you're worth, but then we see with WWE, they will cut people because of budget reasons or whatever reasons, and it can be big names. We've seen obviously Bray Wyatt get cut in the past, who was a big merch seller.
But that's a fault on the company. That's not a fault on the talent.
And I think the key word is investment. I think that's the key word here. I think it's investment. I think she maybe wasn't ready. Someone who is on a high contract, you want them in the main title picture. Maybe she's not ready yet. And in this defense of the position Bianca's in, the way that the company view her, like she was there when they signed the deal with TKO. Do you know what I mean? Like they view her as one of the most important. People say who's the next Cena, and I think they look in the male roster, and I don't think it's in there. I think your next John Cena is Bianca Belair. And who would, so if you've got this new talent who you're paying a lot of money and you think we needed to get to this level, who are you going to pair her with? And you think, yeah, show her the ropes, because we see 3 hours of television, but what we don't see is all the time that they're spending together, all like out and about, just talking, just dropping them little nuggets of knowledge. And I hope that is going to be the benefit in the long run. But I completely, I take what you're saying, so you're not necessarily wrong in some of the things there. Like it's very good.
And before we will have to get to this last topic, obviously, but like I think Bianca Belair still to this day is still criminally underrated to people. I think when her career is done, she may be in greatest of all time conversations when it comes to women's wrestling. Just what she's done as a in-ring and accolades, and then what she's just done for a generation of women. I haven't seen even as a black woman, right? She's an inspiration to a lot of women ushering in to the sport. So I mean, salute to her, and I do want to see her being booked better. But
how many people do you think will grow up and say, "I want to be like Bianca. I want to make my own gear"? Something as little as that. You know what I mean?
She's literally the word inspirational.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this last topic, because we did have our main event last night. It was a fatal four-way from all these little tournament style matches that we've had with these triple threats. We had Ilya Dragunov, we had Braun Strowman, we had Pete Dunne, and we had the winner, Mr. Jey Uso. Jey Uso gets the win in this very fun, chaotic, fatal four-way match. Had a lot of crazy stuff going on. You got to see Bronson Reed happy that he's back healthy, beat COVID-19. God, I love Bronson Reed now, man. He just really squashes a guy even way bigger than him. They extend a few, but Jey Uso ultimately is the winner. I was a little surprised just because I know Jey Uso came out in the beginning segment trying to help Rhea and Damian Priest. But he wins, and then we get the face-off between Jey Uso and Braun Breaker. The question is, you see it in the caption, could Jey Uso be our next WWE Intercontinental Champion? I'm gonna let y'all go first, and I'm gonna give a brief segment at the end. I'll pass it to you first, Jordy. What is your thoughts? Is Mr. Yeet Man gonna be IC champ?
Again, huge Jey Uso fan. This is almost similar to, and again, I'll keep it brief. It's very similar to my feelings on the Wyatt Six and American Made. I love the position Braun Breaker's being put in. Not sure about Badass, but I love the position he's getting put in. And I love the momentum that Jey Uso's got. It's a rock and hard place situation. I don't want to see either of that end. My only possible thought is that the Judgment Day are going to get involved because of obviously Jey being affiliated with the Terror Twins. And I don't really want to see Jey fail to win another singles title, because I don't think Jimmy's going to stop him this time. But the actual match itself, I agree. I think it was a lot of fun. It was one of the cleanest announced table spots I've seen in a while, I have to say. I think every now and again you see one where it doesn't quite collapse right. And of course it will collapse perfectly when you've got Bronson jumping onto it through Braun Strowman. But it was just so clean the way that it all fully exploded. I loved it. It was great. But no, I don't think Jay's going to win.
Yeah, man, that table spot was definitely gnarly. I ain't gonna lie.
Clean.
Definitely clean to see, man. It's the continuation of that feud is definitely gonna be one that I'm enjoying. So I'm gonna pass it to you next. What are your thoughts on Jey Uso winning, but more so, do you think he is going to beat Braun Breaker for this IC belt?
No. Main reason is because it conflicts with what I think is going to be happening at Mania next year. And Braun Breaker is obviously 26, and the IC title is known as the workhorse and elevate into the main picture scene. Jey Uso, for what people say he is technically main event because he is very over. He's connected with the fans. He's involved obviously with the biggest storyline on Raw, which is obviously the Terror Twins. If you had to give me the paper and say what to do with Jey Uso, I wouldn't have him win the IC. I would have him do a War Games match with Roman, Cody, throw in Street Profits or DIY against the Bloodline in a War Games match. Have whatever go out there. But the main thing for me is it would be depending on one situation if John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble. If John Cena doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I would have maybe Jey Uso win it and challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, people are going to be like, well, The Rock, though, and all that. Look, The Rock doesn't need a Royal Rumble win. He could just come up there and say, I'm executive of the board, I'm booking my match, and it could be a corporate thing versus Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns. They don't need a Royal Rumble win. Roman's won one before, so it's The Rock and Cody. They don't need it. Have Jey win the Royal Rumble and go for Gunther and take the title. Because if Cody is going to drop this belt, it's more likely going to be to a heel. That means Raw will have a heel. No, hang on. Sorry. SmackDown will have a heel champion, and then Raw will need a babyface champion to equal out the barrier. So why not have it be Jey? He is a merch machine. He's loved by the fans. World Heavyweight Jey Uso would be very interesting, and it would be really a showing sign that, yeah, you could be a tag team wrestler for like 10 plus years, but you could still make a change in your career where you become a main eventer and win the biggest prize in the WWE. Like, go for it. Give Jey Uso that opportunity. Then you could relive the Jimmy feud. Heck, if Bloodline get drafted to Raw, Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu versus Tongaloa or versus Solo. Like, you have plenty of opportunities of stories, not necessarily the freshest, but it's a new way of telling some stories with Jey Uso as a World Heavyweight Champion.
I like it. I guess I am a little... I'm on the fence about it because do I think Jey Uso is going to win the IC championship over Braun Breaker? No, I don't. But do I think he should? Absolutely, yes. This is not any disrespect to Braun Breaker. I think the kid is great. I think he shows a lot of power. He's a beast. But I'm a firm believer you position the best people on the top of the show. I think you put your best people in regards to having the championship. And I just feel in the current iteration of WWE programming on Monday Night Raw, the best bet would be for Jey Uso being Intercontinental Champion. What you just said now, so it would be a feel-good moment for a guy who's been a tag team wrestler coming in and having success and being a singles champion. It's at a point where I think we even forget about the Usos partially. I think Jey Uso has established himself as such a beloved single star. I think he'll create a big moment. And if I had to book it, and this is why probably I don't get booked for anything, I'm having Jey Uso and Sami Zayn both win at Bad Blood. I got Sami Zayn beating Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship belt, and I have Jey Uso being the Intercontinental Champion. Instead of the tag team titles and them beating the Judgment Day, I'm going to go ahead and say, let's have Jey Uso and Sami Zayn both become champions and embrace in a big yeet hug all together. Let's get it done.
I've got to
That's all
say,
it is
man,
in life.
I've got to say, I'm with Saul on this one. I think the Rumble's a better option. I really do, and I think the way to potentially do it is have The Rock eliminate Roman, and then Jey eliminate The Rock, and then obviously The Rock and Roman both aren't in it. They can have a match against each other, and Jey has knocked out the big guy. And yeah, I think that's a better way to do it. I would personally love to see him win a Rumble. I didn't even think about him winning the Rumble, to be honest, because I've got Cena vision, but
we'll have to wait and see. But that is all the time we have left, man. I appreciate all of y'all commenting, watching the show with us. The people on X, sorry there was a little hiccup that happened on the middle of the show, but we're good to go now. So, Jordy, thank you guys as well. And catch us the same time tomorrow. Deuces, ooses.